What's up, guys? This is Alex here from 814 EDC, and today I have a full review of the Hogue Deka. Now, I got this knife probably about 3 weeks ago, between 3 weeks and a month ago. If you've seen the unboxing video, you knew that I got this and the Real Steel Mini Micartomorph. I got them in a package deal from a guy on Reddit over on the Knife Swap. Really good thread and place to look and buy knives. So many people on there, and it's pretty. If you're looking for a knife, I mean, you can pretty much find it on there, either on the thread of people posting, or if you just go to the want to buy thread, like a sub thread of that, you can find stuff super easily. So that was actually my first purchase that I had made on Reddit. I've been on there for a couple months, and I get on there and search at least a couple times a week, if not daily. And I just hadn't pulled the trigger on anything, but like I said, I saw them together and they were packaged together at a really good price. And they're both knives that I thought were interesting and I've kind of wanted to check out. So, like I said, I pulled the trigger on them and I'm super happy I did. So, a little bit about the knife. Like I said, this is the Hogue Deka. This is in the DLC blade with CPM 20 CV. It is an Elishawitz, I believe is how you say that, design. 20 CV is a great steel. It's one of my favorites, super high end. For the blade, it's super thin behind the edge. It's almost like this reverse Tanto slash Warney. I'd say it's a Warncliffe or modified Warncliffe kind of. Super wicked looking. Has a really nice tip to it. And it kind of has like these compound, like kind of swedges built in there. I really like it. I like it a lot more than this knife also comes in a drop point, which is nice, but I just kind of prefer the Warn style, the Warncliffe style. So yeah, this is made in the USA, which is cool. Like that a lot. Now the scales for this are Hogue's. It's like their G Mascus. It's G10, but they kind of make it like they marble it. So when they like add these color splotches to it. So whenever they mill it or make the scales, it adds like these cool like ripples and effects of it. Now this is purple. Another cool thing about this, I don't think I've ever seen the purple done on it, but I believe this was a blue or a tan. I'm not sure exactly which one it was from the factory, but the guy who I bought it from took purple Rit dye and Rit dyed the scales to make like this sort of, it's almost like purple camo-ish. I really like it. When I first saw it, it reminded me of the DLT trading, like the PM2, Para 3, and I think they do the Mannix now. They're all in like the purple with the black blade. So that kind of reminded me of that. But yeah, I really like it. One thing that I will note is I don't know why Hogue decided to put so many screws in the scale. I just don't. I've seen other people talk about that before too. I don't really understand why they decided to do that. Not that it really bothers me or it like affects the performance of the knife, but it just, I don't know. It's kind of weird to look because I've never seen, I don't think, a knife with scales with this many screws put into it. But I mean, I guess it is well made, but just kind of confusing. And then for pocket clip, it is a just standard Hogue pocket clip, not deep carry or anything like that. But it's very thin and slim. I didn't think I was going to like it at first because I prefer deep carry. But like I said, it's super thin and slim, so I've actually kind of enjoyed carrying it, and I kind of like it for not being deep carry. This is using the I think it's the Able Lock by Hogue. It's their version of the Access Lock, and it's really good so far. I've had no issues with it. It's very smooth, which I'll get to in action. And then for liners, it's kind of like the Bug Out from Benchmade, where it has like half liners, but I feel like with the Bug Out, they're like this long. In the Hogues, they're like this long. So it's like, I'd say they're definitely half. They're real skinny, but with the G10 and stuff like that, it's a very sturdy knife. It's lightweight, but you definitely get more rigidity there than the Bug Out, I've noticed. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for materials, unless I'm forgetting something. So from there, we'll go into action, which, like I said, it has the dual thumb studs. Excuse me. And the pocket clip is right over lefty, so this will work for lefties because of the ambi lock. So yeah, we'll jump into action now. The action on this guy came right out of the, well, not new out of the box, but new to me out of the box. Very smooth. When he sent me videos of it, it seemed like it was super drop shutty and very easy to close, and it is. So, but for opening, like I said, you have the dual thumb studs on the left and right side. You can slow roll it out with your thumb, which, like I've said before, it's kind of the boring way to open knives. You can thumb flick it, works very, very well. You can middle finger flick, which is my personal favorite. It works very, very well. And then you can also take the able lock and just give it a flick with the wrist, and it flies out very easily. It's a very, very smooth knife. I believe it's on bearings. I haven't taken this guy apart yet because I've had no issue and no reason to. Sometimes I don't like taking my knives apart because I find them to be kind of a pain in the ass to put back together. I know it's probably not the right way to think about it, but that's just kind of how I think about it. So I won't take a knife apart until the action gets kind of slow or something happens where I need to adjust something. And then I will take it apart. Like, I have all the tools, and I've taken most of my knives apart, but sometimes I just don't prefer to when they come like out of the box. Action's fine, no, blade centering's fine, and there's no blade play. So like I said, I haven't taken this apart yet, but so yeah, it's just, it flies out of there, locks up very well. Like I said, there's really no blade play, which is kind of with access style locks, and the more lightweight knives that come with the access style locks, it's pretty relevant to getting blade play, but this really doesn't, so that's a big point for me. But yeah, either way, I mean, you thumb flick it, middle finger flick, those are my two ways. I never really, sometimes if I'm sitting like on my desk doing homework or watching YouTube, I'll kind of flick it like this, but like if I'm in public or out and about and doing something and I pull it out of my pocket, I'm just going to flick it with my thumb or middle finger flick, because I don't really like the whole like wrist motion you have to do with it, which is fine to like, that adds to the fidget factor of it, but just my preferred way is just middle finger flicking or thumb flicking. But yeah, either way, I mean, any way you do it, it's very smooth. I mean, it's, you give it a little bit of, you pull back on the able lock, you guys can't see it, you give it a little bit of angle and it just drops closed. It's just very, very smooth, and I have grown to enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah, just very, very fun. I feel like, I don't know if Hogue uses a different spring in their able lock than the Benchmade does, but it just seems like it's, I don't want to say more like better built than the Access lock, but I don't know, just it feels different. I don't know if it's just, I don't really know. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels different. It feels honestly maybe a little bit better. But I've only experienced, the only Benchmade I have right now is the Bug Out. I did have a mini Griptilian, but I did sell that. So I can't really compare it to all Access style locks. And the Bug Out, if I'm being honest, while I love it, it was my first kind of real knife into the knife world, and I still love it and use it. But it is, I mean, it does have its flaws, so I mean, maybe that's why. Obviously having, I mean, pretty, not thick, but thicker G10 and having a little bit longer of a liner, that probably helps with feeling more well built, maybe than having like the thin FRN and like the no liner, because the Bug Out is more like, if you push down, it'll like flex in the middle where this doesn't, so that might go into play of why I feel like it feels a little bit more well built than the Bug Out, but that's just, I don't know, that's my thoughts. So next we're going to go into ergos, which again are a big hit for me on this guy. It's just a very, it seems to be a common thread lately of all my knives that I've been reviewing. I guess I tend to look for, which I never really thought about before, but a lot of my knives are very neutral handle shapes. They're not very like different or very wild looking. They're just very simple and kind of straight. This does have a nice indent here, which when I put it in my preferred grip, my middle finger or my pointer finger goes in there, and then my middle finger rests behind it. And I'm able to get all 4 fingers on this guy in either saber or hammer grip. It's really comfortable in really any grip you're going to use it in. Yeah, for jimping, there is some jimping up top here. It's kind of aggressive, which I personally don't mind as much. I know some people are big sticklers for jimping, but I haven't had it rip up my thumb or anything like that, so it's definitely on the more aggressive side, but not to the most aggressive levels where it's going to be tearing your skin and ripping up your thumb whenever you're using it. But that's really all the jimping there is on this guy. Down here, it's just very chamfered and smooth, and just it's nicely done G10. So ergos are just really, really good on it. I almost wish there was this spot right in here. Maybe they would have, if they would have done a choil. I don't know if that would have been possible with it, but I feel like that, because when I grip into this, I honestly feel like my finger wants to like go up into this spot, but there's just the hump there, and then you have like the sharpening choil area, and then the blade starts. I just feel like they could have maybe thought about that and maybe taken and just added a choil. I don't know if that would have worked or not, but I feel like that would be, a lot of people would enjoy that, because I mean you can just get a better purchase on the knife and be able to do better, intense work with it. But nonetheless, the standard position for my hand is like this, and it's very comfortable. No hot spots really, because like I said, the pocket clip is super thin. It doesn't stand very proud of the knife, so I don't really I feel it, but it's very, it kind of forms into my kind of like my knuckles here, or the inside of my knuckles. So yeah, ergos, very, very good. Next we're going to get into carry, which also is good. I mean, I have no complaints here. Like I said, the knife is very thin, very, very lightweight. The only thing I guess I can knock it is it doesn't have a deep carry clip, so it doesn't sit very deep in the pocket, but the pocket clip is very thin and it rides well, and it just, like I've stated before, it sits in my right hand pocket with my phone, and when I go in for my phone, I really don't know it's there. It's very comfortable, but like I said, I've grown accustomed to the pocket clip, and I enjoy it now for what it is, because it's so thin and small and kind of very minimalist. But I do, I guess, still wish maybe there was a deep carry clip just so it would sit a little bit deeper, because I like when my knives disappear into my pocket and you really, nothing's sticking out. That's just my preferred way of carrying. The overall carry is good. Out of all the subsections that I've gone over, there's really nothing I can complain about this knife besides maybe the deep carry clip. Everything else I really, really enjoy. It's a really, really good knife. And then that leads me to kind of my final point, is price point. Brand new, I believe these go for like between $140 and $150, which for the materials you're getting, I think it's very well worth it. I mean, I feel like Hogue is kind of not a newer player to the knife world, but they're definitely not new. Don't listen to that, because there's some models I've seen that have been around for quite a while. But I feel like Hogue was there, or the Deka was there, sort of. I feel like it's one of their most popular models, because it's using such a well-known lock that once Benchmade's Axis lock, like the patent was expired. A lot of people started jumping on that, and Hogue, I think, took full advantage and knocked it out of the park. I think their Able lock is an excellent version of the Axis lock. It's very good. It locks up very well, very smooth and fun to play with and fidget with, and just really good on an everyday carry knife. Back to price point, I would 100% spend between $140 and $150 on this knife. There's so many different combos of, there's different colors, there's the DLC blade, there's the satin blade, there's the Warncliffe style blade, there's the drop point blade, and just between all that, I feel like there's it'll fill anyone's needs for what they're looking for. I think there's a few exclusives. I think I just saw, I don't know if it's Knife Center. I forget what it was, but it has like a red G Mascus that's really nice. I forget what maker that is. I don't think it might be Knife Center. I think it might be Knife Center, but don't hold me to that. But it looked really nice. So, this knife's been out for a little while, but they're still making exclusives and making new variants of it. So that just shows how popular it is and how good of a knife it is. So, yeah, guys, this was my full review of the Hogue Deka. Let me know in the comments, if you've experienced this type of knife from Hogue, and if you like it or not, or why you kind of held off on buying it. I'm glad I finally got it in hand. It's been on my list for a little while, and I feel like I got lucky by finding the deal on Reddit because I got 2 knives that I love, and like I said, for a good price. So I'm very happy that fell my way kind of, and I was able to find that because they're 2 knives that I'll never get rid of. I feel like this is very unique because of the purple. Not that people haven't died, there's purple, but I just haven't seen it yet, so I feel like it's kind of more of a rare knife, and I don't know, I just really, really enjoy it. So, yeah. I think that's really all I have to say about this guy. I highly suggest it. I think it's a great... if you like Benchmade and you're looking to try some different Axis style locks, or if you're looking to get into your first Axis style lock, I think this is a great option. It's really well done. It's well built. Made in USA. Made with a really, really good steel. 20 CV is amazing, and I just think overall it's a good value. So, yeah, guys, that is my full review on the Hogue Deka. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for sitting in here and listening to me rant about a knife for 15 or 20 minutes. And that's really all I have to say about it. So I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.